pain to power. Check this out. So I'm at the local Kearney Hy-Vee. Gonna share a story that I've never shared on social media before right now. This cart I have here in front of me, when I first got out of the military, I used carts like this. I'd go into stores like that, down in Phoenix, Arizona. After I got out of the military, I was overseas 10 minutes after arriving with my new platoon. 10 minutes after arriving, a giant bomb went off, and my platoon sergeant came in and said, "Sergeant Richardson, get your guys ready. You was going on patrol, killer." So, I got my 7 dudes ready in my squad, who I had just met, and we proceeded to go to the front gate after a bomb had shook my cot. I had no clue what was in store, but I was surely soon to find out. I went to the front gate with my 7 guys inside my squad. I learned how to use a metal detecting device to detect and find bombs in the ground. I was given a class by an EOD personnel who had already been overseas and been out on many patrols. Didn't feel like going himself that day. I got the class on how to use the metal detector and proceeded to the front gate with my 240 machine gun squad team. And when we got to the front gate, the casualty of the bomb came in to the front gate. And the casualty of the bomb that came into the front gate at that time was a man who was no longer with us. It was a upper armor plate used overseas in order to catch bullets from the enemy and catch shrapnel. It was covered in blood and being carried by his comrades. I was very overwhelmed and overstressed. I didn't have Christ in my life at the time. I called the chaplain over to pray over our group of guys, and he did. He prayed over us. I was extremely petrified and didn't know what to do. I just met these dudes and just went for it. Yep, just went for it. Walked outside the wire, outside the gate, with my squad behind me and the rest of the platoon and trail. Each one of us, me in the front, and then each one 15 meters behind the other. It was like that for about, I don't even know how long, but I remember going outside the wire and looking up at the sky, and just at the time, like I said, I wasn't religious, looking up and saying, you know, just watch over me, Mom, make sure I don't die today. And every single step was a potential to my life being ended. I was so afraid. I had tears falling out of my face. I was crying. Super intense. That happened, you know, the deployment went on, and eventually we ended up taking turns with the metal detector. Got into some situations where we got shot at by a sniper, called in heavy fire on an enemy position. I was never really in anything that was super direct, but when I got back from that deployment overseas, I ended up, like I said, where I'm at right now in Phoenix, Arizona, in the same flight or fight mode. I was drinking 30 beers a day and riding my motorcycle around and get my first DUI. I blew a .356 going 85 into 35 with my dark shield visor on at night because I didn't have the guts to blow my fucking brains out. Why am I sharing this story? Because it's pain to power. And through starting one habit at a time with my diet and exercise, I went from 260 pounds to where I'm at today, 184 pounds, and in great health and feeling amazing in mind, body, and spirit from running from war in Afghanistan, getting out of the military 2 months later, and then running from situation to situation. I was incredibly overwhelmed and overstressed, and I know there's a lot of dudes out there still that are still suffering and still are running from the horrors of war, and they haven't changed the 1 degree change. They look at the mountain of crap that they faced and they're not coming to terms with it. And I feel like it's my personal responsibility to share my story, whether, it's just like, I just really feel responsible. I take that leadership position in my life, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with the mountain. Building the mountain for veterans and civilians to come together to get rid of implicit bias, so veterans aren't looked at like they're crazy, because I couldn't bring myself to go in and get the help that I needed when I first got out of the military. And I've just been I was running from one place to the next, and I just didn't know where to go or what to do. It was absolutely scary as hell. It was like playing Russian roulette every single day. And I would go into grocery stores when I was in Phoenix, Arizona, still in survival mode, not getting any benefits yet. I go and steal groceries to survive and support my habits. I'd walk in, I'd take surveillance of all the stuff, and I could probably get thrown in jail for telling you this stuff, but it's like, if I can go from that to where I'm at today, going to church, I've gotten rid of my bad habits. I still cuss occasionally. I quit drinking for a year and I had a setback, and I used to smoke weed. And now I've switched that over to CBD. You got to have reasonable expectations with yourself. Not everything that you've accumulated, all the bad experiences, you're not going to be able to handle them all at one time. And you just have to shed the pain away one day at a time and use that pain to share it with others. That's why, this site's here is invented. And I think this is such a great gift to our society, to show people that they can really harness that and just help lead and show others what's really possible. It's just, one day at a time, one decision. The minor decisions turn into major decisions, and before you know it, you have these habits that are this overwhelming force of good in your life. The same way that I had a bunch of overwhelming habits, like doing coke and just getting locked up with the wrong dudes at the motorcycle mechanic school, getting drunk every single day. It was just absolutely insane lifestyle. And that's no way to live. Today, I'm on a mission to build a mountain to bring veterans and civilians together. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I know how it feels like. I have a buddy who recently killed himself. And I go to bed every single night and I think about that and I think about that. And, I really feel socially responsible. So this is my story, and this is why I'm sharing Pain to Power. I was in the 82nd Airborne Army in the 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment. We went on 2-week missions in the Himalaya mountain range and did all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm not bragging about my service. I'm just saying, I'm just like everybody else. It's just, we all go through crazy things. We all have our own personal experience. We can't marginalize our experiences as civilians or veterans. And we need to come together, meet in the middle. That way we can eradicate this negative pain body that the world's been cast down on us. It's our social responsibility to share our success. Only somebody else that hasn't had their own yet can see it in you and then see it in themselves and start making the steps forward. So share your story. Share your story. I'm sharing mine. You share yours. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please be brutally honest, like I said last time. I have a really important mission. I'm not going to stop until my mountain's built. If you want to join me, comment below. Let's make this happen. The more time that elapses, the more lives have a chance to be impacted. Ready? Let's do this.